Hey guys, welcome. So today's practice is dedicated to bringing all of the pieces into balance. I know, I know that sometimes with myself, we're so focused on one thing that we forget about all the other things. We're really focused on work, so we forget about our movement practices and maybe our yoga and eating well, or vice versa, right? We're really focused on our movement and we forget about other things. And it tends to be this cycle of trying to get all the pieces in. So we're going to work that today in a cycle of established breath, establish stability and core strength, and then work to come back to balance, right? And then do it all over again. So it's not going to be the same thing, but this cycle of coming back and touching upon each piece. So it feels like each of them is getting a little bit of attention. All right, let's start in child's pose. Take whatever support feels good, blankets, if that helps for support, block under your forehead. Just that place where it feels like you can really start to settle in, to ground into your practice, and to begin to establish your breath here. And that might not come right away, but just let yourself ease into that place that feels attentive to your breath, and that feels full and steady. And then notice the places here that might need a little bit more attention today. This even happens in our bodies, right? We'll have one area that gets a little out, so we do a lot of work with that. Maybe that's our low back. And then we find a few weeks later that that's feeling good, but maybe the shoulders have gotten out because they haven't gotten as much attention. So it often seems to be this cycle of what needs a little attention, but yet at the same time, how can we give everything, just those touch points along the way? And take just a few more breaths here. And then you're going to stay here in child's pose, but come up onto your fingertips. So your forearms, your upper arms lift up off the mat. And then stay here up on your right fingertips. Thread your left hand behind, thread the needle in child's pose. So you can bring the left side of your head to rest down on your mat. And go ahead and really root your right hand down and forward to send your hips back. And keep your left arm active so you press into the back of your arm and your hand, and that might even give you a little bit more rotation in the twist. And then unwind, come back to center, up on fingertips, take a breath. And then switch sides, so thread right arm behind left, come to rest on the right side of your head. And then press down into your left fingertips and traction them forward. It feels like you send your hips back towards your heels. Stay active through the back of your arm, back of your hand, and lifting through the underside of your right armpit, right shoulder. Next inhale, come back to center. Stay for your exhale. With your inhale, side forward, tabletop. Stack your knees under your hips. You can have feet flat or toes tucked under, see what feels better here. And take a moment to line up shoulders, elbows, wrists. Spread wide through your hands, root through your fingertips. And then to start to move through a couple rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, look forward, arch your back. Exhale, round in. Let's focus here on beginning to coordinate your breath and your movement. And so you can establish this rhythm, cadence of breath that feels right for how your body wants to move today. And often this beginning part of our practice really can be about that, establishing the breath, right? The pace of the breath. And then as we get into longer holds, we can still keep that steady rhythm. And take one more round. And when you're ready, come back to center, neutral spine. Walk your hands forward a few inches and then really root through your hands. Stretch your hips up and back, down dog. And see if you can just anchor into the stillness. I know the temptation sometimes to move, and if you need to do that, do it. If it feels okay, find the steadiness. So you can really feel that connection to your hands. And then send your heels down and back, even if they're not touching. Just find that length along your back body. Squeeze your kneecaps up towards your thighs so your legs feel strong. But then soften your chest back towards your legs. And as you do that, roll the eyes of your elbows up and shoulders stay open. Take another full round of breath. And with your inhale, lift to your toes. Bend your knees, exhale, walk, step, or hop front of your mat. And strong legs, inhale, lift halfway, lengthen your spine. Bring your hands somewhere for support. Exhale, fold. Right, bent knees or straight legs. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands together at your heart. And just establish that connection into your feet as you root down. Squeeze your kneecaps up. Start to find a little lift through your belly so we turn on that support from our core, from our center. And lift your heart up. Take a full breath. Good. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, hinge, fold forward. Keep your spine long. Maybe bend knees if that feels better. Good. Halfway lift, inhale. And just match breath and movement. Establish the rhythm. Exhale, fold. Hands down. Step back, high plank. Just take one full breath in. Keep that tone through your belly. And as you exhale, lower either halfway or all the way. Inhale, come up, cobra or upward facing dog. It's early, but if you're ready. And then exhale, lower down, stretch back, down dog. And take one full round of breath. Inhale to your toes. Bend your knees, look forward, walk, step, or hop front of your mat. Lift halfway, take a breath in. Right, my cues might be different from your breath. Follow your rhythm. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Right, no hurry, no rush. Steady. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge, fold forward. Lift halfway, take a breath in. Exhale, fold, step back. If you're stepping back, alternate the foot that you step back to plank with. Balance. Inhale here. Exhale, lower, halfway, chaturanga or all the way. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, up and back, down dog. Let's feel that steady rhythm, your breath. And we'll take another full breath in. With your exhale, bring your knees down to your mat. And just walk your hands back so they're underneath your shoulders. Sometimes I have to do that when I come from down dog. Okay, stretch your right leg out behind you, lift it parallel to the ground. And then flex your foot. Roll your inner thigh up so the hips start to level out. Stay toned through your belly. And then reach your left arm out in front, turn your thumb up. And even hug your outer waistline and start to feel that support all around the torso. Take a full breath in. And then exhale, elbow to knee, curling around. And just like cat pose in your back body. Lengthen it out, inhale. Elbow to knee, exhale. Squeeze in round. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, elbow to knee. Hug your thigh up, hug your heel up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hand down, knee down. Switch sides. Left leg out. Flex your foot. Roll your inner thigh up to level the pelvis. And then think, draw up like a zipper in the low belly and hug the outer waist in for support. Okay, right arm out in front, thumb up. Take a breath in, and then exhale, connect elbow to knee curl. Inhale, your breath, your rhythm. Exhale, curl and round. Lengthen it, inhale. And then one more, exhale, curl. And stretch it all the way out. Hand down, knee down. Okay, walk your hands forward, stretch back, down dog. Your inhale, reach your right leg up and back. Exhale, step all the way through. And crescent lunge, so if you want your feet a little wider side to side, do that. Inhale, sweep both arms up overhead. And then take a hold of your arms up overhead. That might be wrists or forearms or elbows, whatever feels accessible on the shoulders. The squeeze of your inner legs to center. And then press down into the ball of your back foot to get your back legs strong and steady. And root down from your hips to your feet. Lift your chest up. And maybe even the arms start to come back just a little bit and start to create a little more space through chest and shoulders. Keep that steady rhythm of breath that you established. Feel the stability from center, from your core, to help support you here. And both arms up, inhale. Hands to your mat. Step back, down dog, exhale. And left leg up, inhale. Step through, exhale. Crescent lunge, second side. Inhale, come all the way up. And then take a hold of your arms up overhead again. Take the other one in front, probably whichever one you have to think about. And squeeze your legs to center. Press into the ball of your back foot. And it may even feel like it would help to draw your outer left hip back a little bit. Strong core. And start to lean back maybe a little bit, open the chest. Bring your arms back. Right, and so the goal is we establish breath and establish the core. Now we use those things as we start to root and feel the steadiness, right? So it's not just one piece or the other, we bring them all together. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands down to your mat. Take a big step forward, front of your mat. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Okay, start with feet together. Find your focus point. And then stand into your left foot, bring your right foot in for tree. Right? So whether you want a little kickstand, anywhere along your leg, so long as you're not pressing foot into knee, right foot into left knee. It's nice not to shove it the other direction. And then you can keep hands to heart, or you can reach arms up overhead. Okay, right, just like you were in lunge, feel that connection through your left foot, right? Those standing poses that help us find stability and strength and steadiness. Right. Squeeze right foot into left leg and feel that right, strength of the core, stability of the core that we turned on. We'll keep coming back to it. Right, so that here in balance, all the pieces come together. Take another full breath in. And then exhale, hands to your heart, both feet down, switch sides, stand into your right foot, and then left foot in. Right, toes down, shin, thigh, side might be different. Hands to heart or arms up overhead. Steady gaze point. It so often helps with balance. Right, and then so each one, we just go through the pieces. Root through the standing foot, make the standing leg strong. Right, press your left foot, right leg into center. It can just really help establish the midline of the pose. With a low belly drop, outer waist hug in. And you can find a little lightness, brightness through the arms, the chest, the shoulders. And breath. Don't forget to breathe. Okay, next exhale, hands down, both feet to your mat. Great. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, sit back, chair. Stay for your inhale as you reach up through your fingertips, but sink back through your heels. And then stand all the way up, inhale. Hinge, fold forward, exhale. Lift halfway, take a breath in. Exhale, fold, step your left foot back, low lunge. Good. Inhale here, and then exhale, step back, high plank. Full breath in. Right, exhale, lower, halfway chaturanga or all the way down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing, find your back bend. Exhale, up and back, down dog. Right, back to establishing the breath, the rhythm there. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step through. And stay for your breath in. Root through your legs. And with your exhale, this time, step back, plank. This time, pause. Knees up or knees down. Zip low belly up. Hug outer waist in. Right, so from breath back to steadiness of core. Can you keep a steady rhythm of the breath here as we stay? Good. One more breath in. And then exhale, up and back, down dog. Take a full round of breath. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step all the way through. Good. Warrior one. So shorten your stance a little. Get your left heel down. Turn your left toes out towards the left. With your inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, bend your front knee. Right, and then even here, you might decide I might need a little bit longer stance front to back or shorter. And so the left heel is really rooted and connected. And then you choose, you can keep your arms shoulder width apart, or if it feels good to interlace your fingers and release your index fingers up towards the ceiling, do that. And give a squeeze of your heels to center. Right, roll your left inner thigh back, and then really root down from hips to feet. And as you do that, stretch up through your arms. Steady breaths. Right, and focus on that connection of your feet to your mat. We establish the place that feels really rooted on two before we come back to balancing on one again. And next, exhale, hands down to your mat. Step back, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step through. And then a little bit shorter stance, so you can get your back heel down and turn your right toes out a couple inches to the right. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, bend your front knee, warrior one. Good, root down. Squeeze your inner legs towards one another. And then roll your right inner thigh back. Right, so it feels like coming in towards the center and back. And sometimes that also has the effect of drawing the left hip back a little more with it. And press down into your feet. Reach up through your arms. And find the steadiness of your breath and the stability from center. Next, exhale, hands down to your mat. Take a big step forward. Lift halfway, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Okay, feet together again. Find your focus point. Stand into your left foot. Bring your right knee up. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, press your foot back, warrior three. And choose your arm variation here if you like, hands to prayer, airplane arms, or reach both arms up overhead. Let's do it. It feels like the right place for you today. And then just like we were in that tabletop, flex your right foot, roll your inner right thigh up. Good. Find the support from your center, right? So zip up through the lower belly and hug the outer waist in. And then give a little squeeze of your shoulder blades to keep your chest open. Right? So many pieces to focus on in the balance that sometimes when we just focus on one, the others get lost. And just cycle through, touch point along each one. And stand all the way up, inhale. Both feet down, exhale, hands to heart. Switch sides, stand into your right. Bring your left knee up. Take a breath in. And then exhale, send it back, warrior three. Right, choose your arm position on this side. And I can feel right away as I come here, my left hip is higher. I roll the left inner thigh up. Helps to find a little more balance through the pelvis. Stand strongly. You press down from right foot or right hip to right foot. Where are all those little touch points along the way that you need for everything to come together? A little bit more balance. Not always perfect, it's usually not, but just more. Okay, stand all the way up, inhale. Both feet down, hands to heart. Exhale, give yourself a full round of breath. Inhale, sweep both arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, sit back, chair. Stay for your breath in. Stay for your breath out, root down into your heels. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, hinge, fold forward, back to rhythm of breath. Inhale, lengthen and lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot back, right knee down to the mat. Inhale, sweep both arms up overhead, Anjaneyas. Exhale, hands down to your mat. Lift your back knee, step back, high plank. Full breath in, right, and choose. Halfway down, chaturanga, or all the way to your mat. What's your back bend? Whatever you take, just move steadily with your breath. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step through. And then left knee down. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Exhale, hands back down to your mat. Lift your back knee, step back, high plank. Take a breath in. Good, move through the rest of the sun salutation. Your breath, your rhythm. Or if it starts to become too much, it's sometimes not effective for shoulders or low back, skip it. And come straight back to down dog and find a few steady breaths. With your next inhale, side forward, high plank. And pause, right? Now back to core. We keep cycling through. And you can stay in that just regular variation of core or take your feet just a couple inches wider. Take a breath in. With your exhale, swivel your heels to the right. Lift your heels back to center. And then to the left. Back up, inhale. To your right. Lift up. To your left. Good. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step through. Now this time, turn and plant your back heel. Come on up, warrior two. Let's take a moment to establish your stance. Where's the length that feels stable? But wide enough that it's also going to give you some space. With your arms out wide, open up through your chest. As you inhale, turn your front palm up. Exhale, reverse. You can stay light through the back hand or wrap it around. But stay low into your front knee. And then really reach up and back with your front hand. Find that length in your side body. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hands down to your mat. Step back, down dog. And second side, right leg up, inhale. Step all the way through, exhale. And then turn and plant your back heel again. Come on up, warrior two. Again, find the length of the stance front to back that works. So you want enough space, but it still feels really stable. Squeeze your heels in towards one another. And then really anchor down into your feet. Inhale, turn your front palm up. Exhale, reverse, reach up and back. Right? Again, choose where works best for your hand. But sometimes as the hand comes back, we come out of the bend in the front knee. So stay low there, really rooting through your front foot as you sweep up and back. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, both hands down. Take a big step forward, front of your mat. Lift halfway, inhale. Fold in, exhale. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Right? Balance. We'll keep going through the cycle. Establish breath, establish core, anchor foundation, and then try and put it all together when we balance. Okay, feet together, find your focus point, bend your knees, sit back. Stand into your left foot, stack your right knee on top. Right, so eagle pose, Garudasana, choose foot down for kickstand, parallel or wrap. Inhale, bring your arms out wide. Exhale, wrap right arm underneath left. And you can do hands to shoulders. You can do the wrap of your hands. Good. Hug your legs in, find that midline. Find foundation as you root down. And we're going to move a little bit more from your center to establish the balance. And then check in with breath. That is so often one that goes in our balance poses. Good. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, both feet down, hands to heart. Switch sides. Bend knees, sit back. Bring your weight towards your right foot, left knee on top. All right, so you can do toes down, shins parallel, or wrap. Inhale, arms out wide. Exhale, left arm underneath right. Hug legs into midline. Root down through your standing foot. And maybe you bend the knees just a little more as you lift up through your elbows. Right, where your touch points you need to check in on so that everything's getting a little bit of attention. Right, sometimes we do swing way one way, we focus on one thing at a practice, then we come back, we circle back through so that everything's getting it eventually. But inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands together at your heart. Give yourself a full round of breath. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, sit back, chair. Stay for your inhale, reach up. And with your exhale, sit back. Inhale, press through your heels, stand all the way up. Exhale, hinge, fold forward. Back to breath and rhythm. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, step your left foot back, left knee down to your mat. Inhale, bring both arms up overhead. Exhale, bring hands to heart. Take a breath in. And then exhale, twist, left elbow across. Let's stay one breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hands down to your mat. Lift your back knee, step back, plank. Inhale, plank. Right, and then lower halfway or all the way or skip it. Come back through down dog. Just move with your breath. A chance to check back in, connect to that rhythm. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step through. Right knee down. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Inhale here. Exhale, right elbow to your left leg. One breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, hands down. Step back, plank. Right, come through the rest of the sun salutation through the vinyasa. Or come right to down dog. Take a couple of breaths. Okay, inhale, slide forward, high plank. Right, back to that stability from center. Root down through your hands so there's a good support there and grip with your fingertips. And then again, either stay right here or float your right leg up and take a breath. And right foot back down, left foot up. Low belly up, outer waist in for support. Both legs down and stretch back down dog. Full breath. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, step through. And turn your back heel down. Inhale, come all the way up. This time, straighten your front leg. Take a breath in. And then exhale, hinge forward, come down, triangle pose. If you have a block and you want some support, grab that. Just somewhere where it gives your space, your chest, your shoulders some space. That's what needs the space. Hug your heels in. Root down. Right, so use the standing poses as a time to reestablish connection with both feet, to maintain the steady breath even in the longer holds. This time the balance from here, right hand to right hip, look down, right? And in one big step or two steps, come forward, half moon pose. Walk your left hand forward, reach your right leg up. Maybe your block comes with you. Press down into your left foot. Roll your right hip open. And keep your hand to your hip or reach your top arm up. And flex your back foot, your floating leg, just like you're standing on it. And from that root of your left foot, expand. Open out wide without losing that connection to center. Good, full breath in. And then with your exhale, bend your front knee slowly. Step all the way back, warrior two. Take a breath in here. Let yourself land fully. And then exhale, circle your hands down to your mat. Step back, down dog. Good. One round of breath in between sides. And then inhale, sweep your right leg up and back. Exhale, step through. And turn back, heel down. Inhale, come all the way up. And straighten your front leg. And as you exhale, reach a hinge forward. Come down, Trikonasana, second side. Maybe support for the bottom hand. Maybe a block. Maybe to the mat. Traction your heels in towards one another. And as you root down, roll your chest open. And feel like as you expand, that it comes from the center. And then bring your left hand to your hip, look down. Right, so you can take one little step in or one big step forward. Right hand under right shoulder. Root down to roll open. Hand to hip or reach your arm up. And floating legs strong, so foot flexed. And tune into that stability And from there, expand and create space. Good. Full breath in. And with your exhale, bend your front knee slowly. Step all the way back, warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale, circle your hands all the way down to your mat. Take a big step forward. Lift halfway, inhale. Fold, exhale. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, bring hands together at your heart. Okay, we're going to put all the balance poses together. So if it gets a little outer hip activation, know that we'll give it some release after that. Right, and I invite you as we cycle through them to think about what are the touch points you need so that everything gets a little attention from one pose to the next. Okay, stand into your left foot. Right foot up, tree pose, vrikshasana, whichever variation here. Right, we won't stay quite as long because we'll wind them all together. Hands to heart or reach arms up. Anchor your foot. Stabilize from center, from core. Create space and find breath. Right, some come really naturally in each pose, some are where we need to find the focus. And with your next inhale, bring your right knee up. And then exhale, press your foot back, warrior three. Arms can stay up overhead or sweep back by your sides. Flex your right foot, roll your inner thigh up. And hug your shoulder blades back to keep your chest open. Inhale, stand all the way up, knee up. Exhale, bend your left knee, eagle pose. Bring your arms out wide and then wrap right arm underneath left. Hug in. Bring your elbows up. Keep checking in with your breath. And inhale, stand all the way up. And then exhale, send your right foot back. This time hinge all the way forward, standing splits. We'll just use it as a transition. So if you want the block for your left hand, do that. Bring your right hand to your hip. Squeeze your outer hips into stabilize. And then roll your right hip open, half moon pose. And flex your right foot. Hand to hip or expand, open out wide. Take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, roll your outer right hip down. Bring both hands down, standing splits. Inhale here. And then exhale, step back, lunge. So you can walk your hands back to frame your front foot. Okay, from here, pigeon pose. Walk your left foot over behind your right hand and bring your left knee down. Yeah, grab any support that feels good or figure four on your back. And if you want that, blanket or block underneath your hip. And then as you're ready, fold forward. All right, so you get that activation of the outer hip and then a little softness, a little more release. You can come to forearms. You can make a pillow with your hands. Keep a little of the strength in your legs as you let the softness, the heaviness of the legs take in there. So it's not just a collapse, just sometimes our inclination in pigeon, but there's still a little bit of the support. I'm going to take a couple more breaths. And walk your hands back. Stretch all the way back, down dog. From down dog, take a full round of breath. Inhale, lift to your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Walk, step, or hop front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Okay, second side, putting them all together. I'm just going to come to this side of the mat. You stay wherever works best for you. Root through your feet. Find your focus point and feel where your breath is now. Okay, stand into your right, tree pose, left leg in. Right, wherever feels like the right place. This side. With a steady gaze, keep hands to heart or reach arms up overhead. What seems to already come with the pose? Does it feel stable? Maybe. Does the breath feel good? And in that case, what needs a little bit more attention? With your inhale, bring your knee up, reach your arms up. Exhale, press back, warrior three, and choose your arm variation. Left leg strong, roll your inner thigh up. You can find the lift here through the low belly and the front ribs for support. And keep your chest open. And find that new focus point somewhere on the mat in front of you. And stand all the way up, inhale. You might lose the steadiness along the way, it might stay. Bend your right knee. Eagle pose, Garudasana, exhale. Arms out wide, inhale. And then wrap left arm underneath right. Find steadiness. Hug to midline. Check in with your breath. Good. Inhale, stand all the way up. And then exhale, left foot back again, this time hands all the way down to your mat. If you want that block underneath your right hand, if that's helpful, do that. Bring left hand to your hip. Squeeze the outer hips in as you roll open so there's support through the pelvis. Keep your left hand to your hip or reach it up. And feel the root and the steadiness. Enjoy that full rhythm of breath. And next exhale, unwind. Take a breath in. And then exhale, step all the way back to lunge. Walk your right hand now behind your left hand, or right foot behind your left hand. And just make sure your left leg's lined up, hip, knee, ankle. Squeeze the legs in. Fold forward. Wherever you're at, you find that balance of strong but soft. How does it feel to our attention to just be cycling through, touching that little touch point on everything instead of just focused on one thing? Just so we know what each one feels like, right? Sometimes we really do need that dedicated attention to one thing. Bring it back into balance. Just finding a little way to get a bit of everything. Well, maybe not everything, but a few things along the way. And come on back. Root your hands. Stretch back, down dog. And full breath in. And then with your exhale, knees down to your mat. Come all the way down onto your back. And then once you get there, bend your knees, place your feet, bridge pose, hands by your sides. Take a full breath out. And then as you exhale, lift your hips. It doesn't have to be a big, huge one. You can even slide the block. I'm not going to stay long. This is something I find about bridge often at the end of a practice with lots of different pieces. that feels like everything integrates back to center. Good. One more breath in. And then exhale, lower down. And take your feet wide, let your knees rest together, constructive rest pose. Take a couple breaths. And we'll take just a few moments here in Shavasana. So if you want to stay here in constructive rest, if that feels good, you want to stretch your legs long, or even soles of the feet together, knees wide in butterfly. See what would be most appropriate to end your practice today. And close your eyes. Let your body get heavy. And as we're focusing on all the different things, we always want to remember the rest as well. Even if it's just for a moment, to weave that in. If you have longer to stay and you want to do, please do. When you're ready to come out, just find a full stretch and a big breath in. And then as you exhale, draw your knees in, roll to your side, and press all the way back up to sitting. Bring your hands together at your heart. And sit tall, lift heart to hands. Thank you so much for taking the time to share the practice today. Namaste.